This is the Doctor, President-elect of the High Council of Time Lords.
I am definitely a madman with a box.
Anyone for jelly, baby?
I'm the Doctor. I'm 904 years old. I'm from the planet Gallifrey in the constellation of Castabras.
Hey, you fans, and welcome to the Big Blue Box podcast. My name's Gary.
My name's Adam.
And this is our second commentary.
Yeah, I enjoyed the first one. I'm glad we're doing another one.
Yeah, this was so much good fun when we did it before. So this one obviously to coincide with the whole 10th anniversary thing.
Yeah, it's an important episode, this one.
It's a very important one, yeah.
Yeah.
And, so we've done some cool stuff over at the Big Blue Box for the 10th anniversary. I think this will kind of finish off our kind of small celebration nicely, I think.
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah. So we're going to go back to, as you guys will know very well, back to 2005. Wow, seems like a long time ago now.
I know, scary, isn't it? 10 years.
10 years indeed.
And, you know, we were talking about it on the last podcast and stuff, and I was just really sort of reflecting on all the stuff we've had in those 10 years. It's been brilliant, actually.
It has, yeah.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine what you guys were like when you first sat down to watch this.
Yeah, well, I can remember exactly. I mean, it's just such an incredible buzz, you know, sort of. But I shut myself away so that I couldn't be disturbed. I literally can go straight back to being in my room watching this. I shut all the doors, turned the TV up to max, and just sat there with bated breath, thinking, I can't believe, you know, this is happening. And all the excitement of what's the theme going to be like, and you know, all that. What's this new Doctor going to be like? Is it going to work? Is it going to be like the old? All these things going through your head leading up to it, and you know, a bit like when they announced the new Doctor, you're just counting down the seconds, thinking, "Come on!" You know, yeah, it's great. It was great.
Oh, sounds cool. Rightio. So we are going to kick straight off with this. So exactly the same as we did before. Pop your DVD or your Blu-ray, if you've got it on Blu-ray. Just pop it in your machine. And as Adam and I found out, there isn't much in the way of pre-episode titles or anything like that. So you just need to put the disc in, select rows, and then when the episode starts, literally it just 0 or 1 second, it's a black screen, and then it just goes straight in with the cool new intro music and the time vortex tunnel and stuff. So if you just select the episode but pause it straight away on 0 or 1 second, I think it's 1 second that you're on, Adam, is that right?
Yeah, I'm on one. Yeah, so I've pressed play and I've hit it stop straight away, so I'm basically on 1 second.
Yeah. And then we're off. So we're going to do our countdown as we did before. So we're going to go 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to press play on go after 1. So 3, 2, 1, and then go, and press play on go.
So I've got my Davros finger paused over the play button.
Yeah, all right, let's do it. Ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
And do you know what? These intro graphics still look really good, I think.
They do. I was just about to say that. I was going to say
I love the time tunnel.
Yeah, the newer stuff that people were treated to, very, very different to what had been obviously in the classic years. Very modern for its time, I guess.
Yeah.
Up to date, which is what it needed to be.
I remember when they revealed this Doctor Who, you know, the new logo, they revealed it before the episode, and I remember thinking it looked quite, I don't know, a bit sort of dull. I remember thinking, oh, that's a bit, I don't know about that, but it works so well actually in the actual intro. Do you know what I mean? But when you see it on its own, I just remember thinking it looked a bit plain.
Okay.
Yeah, but it does. It looks brilliant when it rolls towards you on the screen, I think. These graphics still look good, don't they? Still stand up all right?
Yeah, I think they look pretty good, actually. They obviously had a bit of money to kick the show off.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, we don't see the Doctor for a while.
No, we don't, do we?
It's all about, well, as the title suggests, it's all about Rose.
I must admit, I mean, it's been a while since I watched it. I had forgotten that there is quite this lengthy intro before we meet the Doctor, yeah. Yeah.
It has kind of stood the test of time pretty well, but there is some a little bit of a dated feel about it now. Not too much, but
I must admit, I don't really love this music at the start. I find it a little bit, I mean, even at the time, actually, I remember thinking it was a little bit too sort of Hollyoaks meets the Monsters. Do you know what I mean? This guitar.
Yeah.
I mean, it does work. I don't dislike it, but I find it a little bit cheesy, actually. The actual music, I mean. Yeah. But
There's
it works,
Mickey.
I guess. Yeah, it's Mickey.
Mickey, one of the sub-companions, I guess,
Yeah.
who also puts up with a lot.
Yeah, he really does, actually. Even in this episode. And
Yeah.
obviously, don't want to skip to the end already, but that last line really bugs me that Rose says, and I'll talk about that when we get to it, because I've never quite got why she says it, but yeah, I won't jump ahead. But yeah, this is kind of just setting up everything, isn't it? Just very sort of neatly done, just shows you all the little pinpoints. Just from those simple scenes, you just know that they're together or whatever, or friends. It's very nicely done, very simple, just sets the story.
Yeah.
And I do like the way that bing of the elevator stops the music in time. Nicely done.
Yeah. And
Wilson, I've got the lottery money.
I think Rose is generally considered one of the... she's always voted really highly in the companions of the newer Doctor Who. And for the most part, I like Rose. She's... I mean, Billie Piper has played it very well. I think we've all got some issues with her kind of lurching over the Doctor a lot, and them going down that, not really a companion, but the Doctor and a girlfriend kind of thing. It kind of put a lot of people's backs up. But I thought Rose was pretty good in this. She must have been very nervous. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I like her in the first series, actually. I do like Rose. I think, she does get a little bit sort of bratty as the series goes on. But yeah, I really like her. I like her in this story, and I do like her in the first series. Yeah, I think Billie Piper's good. And I think a lot of people were a bit against her before, when she was cast. And then people were saying, oh, what, Billie Piper? What's that about? And I think they were quite surprised at how good she is in it, actually.
Yeah. Yes.
Now, I'll tell you what, this is the bit where Graham Norton intervened, and apparently Russell T Davies went ballistic, because when I was watching this live, round about now, I think, suddenly Graham Norton's voice drifted in over the picture.
No.
And we were like, what's going on? And obviously, how long we've been waiting for Doctor Who to go back, and suddenly there's this, mix-up. And what happened is he was doing a live show before this aired, and he was doing the second part of it after this finished, and his mic was still on, and somehow the feed drifted in to Doctor Who. So around about now, I think it's when the Auton head turns, you could hear Graham Norton waffling on for about 20 seconds, but it felt like forever, because you were sort of thinking, oh, what's going on? Yeah, and apparently Russell T Davies obviously sat there, labour of love, putting this thing together, bringing it back. Apparently he was straight on the phone to the BBC, what's going on? How did this happen?
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah,
and it's a strange thing. It's a strange cock-up, isn't it? I know, that somebody obviously just hit a button and there he was. It's roundabout now, I think, it happened. But I remember thinking that. I remember sitting there just being like, what?
All it takes is a button, mate.
Yeah, that's it.
So the Autons?
Yeah, I think a good thing to bring back for the first episode, because they're quite a nice, simple monster, aren't they? So, this thing that takes over plastic. It's quite a nice, simple idea to sort of introduce new viewers and stuff.
Yes, and it's quite cool because they were quite underused. They'd only appeared in, I think it was two classic stories before, yeah. So, and underused. They didn't go straight in with the Daleks or Cybermen, anything like that. Ah, here he is.
Yeah, there he is. Great first line, isn't it? Run.
Yeah.
Really nice.
What a cracking intro.
Yeah. It's quite good, because we're already into sort of a bit of action here, lots of running. We're only about 5 minutes in, so
yeah,
it's quite nice.
The start of a lot of running for the Doctor and the companions in the newer stuff.
I remember in the trailers for this, there's that bit where Chris is running through the corridors with all the ball of flame behind him.
Ah, yeah.
I kept thinking, I'm really looking forward to that bit. And it's not in any of the
it's not
episodes.
In, is it?
No, just a really expensive little trailer. But yeah, I remember thinking, when's that going to happen?
I think straight from the off, Chris just immediately, put his stamp on, because it was very unsure about how this was going to go down back in 2005. And although I'm pretty sure they were fairly confident this would be good, but I know there was a lot of, if you look at any of the interviews and special features on this Series 1 disc, it's a very, very unsure time for the show, wasn't it, when they were it was pretty much, although it's canon and it's a follow-on from Classic Who, it's still a very big risk for the BBC because, you know, they didn't know if there was going to be as much of a huge fan base still, and if people would take to this newer version, if you like. So it's kind of cool that Chris just didn't overplay it and just immediately put his own take on it.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the thing. I think this must have been a very difficult sort of episode to get right in terms of, you know, bringing the show back, making it appeal to a new audience as well as the fans. You know, really quite a hard task. So it treads the line quite well, I feel, actually.
Yeah, because they could have got somebody to play almost a copycat of some of the previous classic Doctors, you know, maybe a Troughton-esque zany clown figure or a grumpy Hartnell figure, but no, they kind of went with just a completely unique take, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been so easy to have got wrong, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, just about get away with it. I'll tell you, I love this shot of the TARDIS coming up. I love the fact we just see it hiding in the... Yeah, I love that.
Just poked away, yeah.
And there's a very subtle play on the theme there, isn't there? Brilliant.
Yeah.
Love that little bit.
Yeah, that's one of the things I like about this first episode and pretty much this first series, actually, where nothing was kind of shoved in your face. It wasn't overly done or overplayed. It was this kind of very friendly, subtle assumption that, you know, you knew what a TARDIS was, you know, and you knew what the Doctor was about. You know, I like that they didn't have to spend the first couple of episodes just having to set up the entire story and what the Doctor was about and, you know, what does a TARDIS do and what is it. You know, they just ran with it that people knew, and if you didn't know, you were going to find out anyway. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's right. I know what you mean. There's some nice little subtle references in there, you know, if you want to pick them up if you're a fan, but yeah, nothing to make the casual viewer think, what's that about?
Yeah. Jackie?
I like Jackie.
Yeah, good old Jackie. She's got a hilarious scene coming up. But yeah, she's good, isn't she?
Well, yeah, I know the scene you mean as well, yeah. Yes, I like the interaction between her and Rose. I think it's quite a natural mother-daughter. I think that, you know, it's quite well written. You know, you can sort of relate to it. I think they work really well. She does bring some nice humour to it as well, Jackie. She's sort of, she's slightly over the top, but not too much, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? She's a little bit sort of caricature, but I do like her.
I know what you mean. And Mickey's quite cool, actually. I like
yeah, I like Mickey.
Noel Clarke. I mean, I've chatted to him a few times on Twitter. He's a nice guy, and yeah, I like Mickey. It's a good character.
Oh, look at you name dropping.
Yeah. He obviously goes on to do good things.
Yes, he does. Yeah. He's quite assured in his performance as well, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? He doesn't, because again, I'm sure he did do things before this, but I didn't know him before this. And he doesn't sort of feel like, you know, like he's just started sort of thing.
Oh yeah,
it's quite good, I think.
Yeah, I mean his character as well. His character goes on to do.
Oh yes,
good things as well.
Actually, they're all quite assured in their performance. I mean, even Billy here. I mean, I don't know how much acting work she'd done before this. I think she was in a few things, but she's you know, she's quite believable. I think she's quite playing it quite straight.
Yeah. I don't think she was in anything too big before this. So this was obviously her, getting a good old nagging off Jackie. But yeah, I think this was the one that really put her up, you know, really high up the ladder, I think.
Yeah, oh yeah, this is definitely before, what was that one she did? Confessions of a Call Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was good, but this was the one, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, a cat flap. Do you think a cheetah person's going to come through there, Gary?
Possibly. Would you be able to get back, though?
Someone blew up my job.
No, Bonet, bye then. You inside right now. Who is it?
This is so well written, these bits.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Because, you know, the first time you watch this, we're meeting brand new characters that we don't know about and, you know, have no reason to care about, but I instantly like them.
Yeah.
Which, you know, it's just a testament to the sort of good writing, actually.
Yes, there is.
Look at Jackie. Like, she hasn't got any in years.
No. Is that the scene you were talking about
Yeah.
earlier? Yeah, I thought so. Yeah,
It's so funny.
It's nice.
She doesn't even know the guy, and she's onto him.
I know. Man-eater.
Yeah.
That won't last. He's gay and she's an
I'm
alien.
not blaming you, even if it was some sort of joke that just.
Sad ending.
There's a reference to his regeneration coming up, isn't there? Where he looks at the mirror here.
Yes. And I found this quite...
Could have been worse. Look at the ears.
Yeah. I'm kind of in two minds about this because
Anyway, if we are.
we don't know. Because if you remember the Day of the Doctor, at the very end, we saw
I want you to explain everything.
what's the actor's name? John
John
Hurt.
Hurt.
Yeah, we saw John Hurt regenerate, didn't we? Into... Well, almost we see him. You know he's regenerated into Chris. And you assumed that a lot of stuff had gone on because, you know, but if you take that scene where he looks in the mirror, it's almost like he's fresh off the
Yeah.
regeneration, but he doesn't seem disorientated anyway. It looks like he's been this Doctor for a while, so it's kind of weird. I'm in two minds about that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I like the fact it's in there though, because I was hoping there'd be some sort of reference to it. Maybe it didn't need to be in the first episode though. You're right. Maybe they could have
Yeah,
thrown that in somewhere. But yeah,
It's
I
okay,
do like
yeah.
it's there.
It's okay. It's not a deal
It is
breaker or
weird to
anything, but
It is weird to think that if you put it in, you know, what is now supposedly happened before this, that's a bit weird, isn't it, with all the War Doctor? And then to think this would be the next thing, I don't know. It's a bit weird.
yeah. But that's Moffat for you.
Yeah. Here's that music again.
Yeah, it's got that kind of.
It tried to kill me.
It reminds me so much of the Queen song Breakthrough. Have you ever heard
Oh,
that
yeah.
song? Do-do-do-do, gonna be do-do-do. Yeah.
Alright then, I'll go to police. I'll tell everyone. And you said if I did that, I'd get people killed. So, your choice. Tell me or I'll start talking.
Is that supposed to sound tough?
Sort of.
What do you reckon to the Ninth Doctor's outfit? It's very new era.
The doctor.
Yeah, I think it's
That's supposed to sound
I like the fact it's different. I like the fact it's very simple. It is a little bit too bland for my personal taste, but I do like it, and I think it suits Chris's Doctor very well, actually. Yeah.
It needs
Yeah.
a Karate Kid style headband with some Gallifreyan symbols on there.
I don't know what it needs something for me, but I don't know what. But it does. I do. Yeah, I do like it. It's just it's a little bit bland.
Some bright red Dr. Martens or something, or just something to accent
something
the outfit.
quirky. Chris is a little bit. I was gonna say I was watching, this performance, and he's doing a lot of silly faces. It makes you wonder if this was very early on in the production. It almost seems like they needed to do another take or something because he's feels a little bit almost like they're rehearsing the scene.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? If you watch Chris in this scene, Bill is good, but Chris is sort of doing all these sort of grins and silly faces, and it's don't know. Can almost feel like they get to the end of the scene and they should have said, actually, can we do one more or something? It doesn't quite feel right. But in contrast, the scene that's coming up is fantastic. No pun intended, but it's a brilliant. The whole speech bit that's coming up.
It's great. Yeah. That was, for me, Russell T Davies really kicking off his just complete love and respect for the character and the show, really. It's just a beautifully written piece, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's beautifully filmed as well. From here onwards, I love this whole scene. The lighting, the fact that we see the TARDIS in the background in a minute. It's just... Because I remember sort of the first time I was watching this thinking, I was liking the episode, but I was thinking, it seemed a bit erratic. I wasn't sure where we were going. Wasn't sure if it felt like Doctor Who, the first time I watched it. But this scene, just the TARDIS on the street and this whole bit just cemented it for me. I thought, yes, brilliant.
We were saying about the Earth revolving. It's like when you're a kid. The first time they tell you that the world's turning and you just can't quite believe it because everything looks like it's standing still. I can feel it. The turn of the Earth. The ground beneath our feet is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, and the entire planet is hurtling round the sun at 67,000 miles an hour, and I can feel it. We're falling through space, you and me, clinging to the skin of this tiny little world, and if we let go, that's who I am. Now forget me, Rose Tyler.
Brilliant. See, this is what Chris does best.
Yes.
He's great when he's doing bits like that, serious, speeches, and I think Chris is a great Doctor. I think. I think perhaps the comedy bits he doesn't do so well. He still does it good, but I think when you see a scene like that, he's really shows how good he is.
Yeah, and the music, that first little hint there of that, is really good. Murray Gold really kicked off such. I mean, the opening zany music we just referenced isn't the best in the world, but
it's not typical of his music either, is it? I was thinking it doesn't. If I said to you, "Oh, that bit was that's not Murray Gold," you wouldn't be surprised. It doesn't sound like anything else because I don't recall anything like that later on in the series either.
Yeah. He really kicked off, and he associated a nice theme for each character as well. It's really cool.
Yeah, because I love the Ninth Doctor's theme. This is kind of it, isn't it? That wispy vocal, and Rose has got a beautiful theme as well, and the Father's Day theme and all that. There's some really lovely bits of music in the first series.
Yeah.
Only if you wash the mug. And I don't mean rinse. I mean wash. Can I use your computer? Yeah.
This is funny. This bit, you can tell how old the show is if you look at Mickey's computer. Look at the size of the old monitor.
Wow.
That was probably considered a fairly okay computer back then.
Yeah. Whatever happened to SearchWiseNet?
Yeah. What? Yeah.
Yeah, dear. Yeah, you're right. So I hadn't noticed that actually. I should be looking out now to see anything else that dates it, because, there's things they sort of take for granted in this, like they use mobiles a lot and stuff, and of course, there wouldn't have been any of that in 1989 when Doctor Who finished, or in the TV movie, was there?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things, it's obviously the time was bang up to date.
Have you seen this man?
Yeah, and I like this idea of her Googling the Doctor, and because I think that's something you do. You'd sort of try and look up, who is this man?
It was another little nuance to say that we're in a very modern time.
Yeah.
Excuse the pun. I know time's relative, but in Rose's sense, it's the internet was really kicking off 10 years ago.
Exactly. There's the bin.
The burping bin. What a great little touch.
Yeah. I like this actor coming up. I meant to look up his name and I forgot. It's Mark something, isn't it? The guy who plays Clive.
It's Mark Benton, yeah.
Mark Benton. Yes, he's a lovely actor, this guy. He always gives a really just great little performance.
He is good, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a shame he gets bumped off.
It is. I remember being gutted about that at the time, and I was sure that actually we were going to see him after the sort of, after the invasion had been halted. I thought, we'll see him get up. Yeah, gutting. Because he's a good little character.
Yeah, they could have done something with him, because obviously he's done a lot of research and knows his stuff. Or he thinks he knows his stuff about the Doctor. They could have used him quite well, I think.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Perhaps one day somebody will go back to this shed and find all this stuff.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another one from up north.
Yeah.
Lots of norths. Lots of planets have got on north.
I love the fact that he's just, there's this guy that's collated all this information on the Doctor, like it's, it's obsessed with it. A bit like a fan, just wants to find out all this stuff,
Yeah. And I love the effort that the designers of the show tried to put in these photos. It's dreadfully bad.
It's dreadfully bad. I was going to say, even for the time, it's bad.
But you do what you do, don't you?
Yeah.
I guess.
It's weird though, because it's got like this grey thing around. It's like he's wearing a roll neck, and in every photo, it's really, I don't know. I do like that, even though it's a bad. Is it this one coming up? Yeah.
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 Amazing. I do like how Clive is really getting into it now, though. He's almost getting excited as he's taking Rose through all the different bits. Yeah.
It's like he's finally found someone that believes him, and it's a girl. Even better.
Yeah, because they referenced that. I think that was a little kind of, not an in-joke, but a kind of announcement to the world that it's totally cool for a girl to be a fan of anything geek, I guess.
It definitely was. Yeah, it definitely was. It's so hard to put my mindset into what it was like because Doctor Who was just so unpopular, well, not unpopular, but with with the BBC and everything, as you know, but it really got a core set of fans, but it wasn't anywhere near what it sort of came back to be towards the end anyway,
Yeah.
If you think about Survivor, which you reviewed recently, I mean, the sort of fandom had pitted down and the interest in it pitted down. I don't know. I'm sure there were girl fans out there, but I'm sure nowhere near what there are now.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely true, mate.
This divides opinion, but I like the burping bin. I just think it's a nice bit of humour.
Oh, I love it, mate. It's such a cool touch.
I think so.
Yeah. What's not to love about a burping bin? Come on.
I don't know if it's on the commentary. I remember Russell saying they weren't sure whether to keep the burp in or not, but I'm glad they did.
I like Mickey's car as well.
Yeah. Reminds me of the Transformer, Bumblebee.
Yeah.
Very good.
A very clean bin for that area of London. Can't imagine that's a real bin they've used.
No, it does look a bit clean. You need a banana skin or something in the bottom, don't you?
Yeah. And I thought the effects weren't too bad for this.
No, I think for the time they're not too bad at all. I did read somewhere that they said this is the only sort of bad bit of CGI. I disagree. I don't think it looks too bad.
It's
I actually
okay.
think when he gets flipped in the bin, I think it's really good.
Yeah, it's okay. It does its job pretty well. I don't look at it and think, oh my god, that looks terrible. It looks pretty good.
Have you tried? I wonder if that's a real number, residential.
Oh yeah, the old estate agents.
See, I think that's quite good. He actually flips back and in. I mean,
Yeah, it's cool.
how do you think they did that? Do you think he just flipped back on the? I don't know. I think that's done quite well, actually.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, just probably a couple of edits together with him flipping onto a mat and then his legs disappearing into the bin after.
Yeah. I can imagine that like you said, Russell and that were just sat here. I mean, it must have been so nerve-wracking. But I think I would imagine they were really pleased by how this turned out. Really, I would have think.
Yeah.
This is a bit weird, isn't it? Why doesn't she notice?
Yeah. Oh, you always read my mind, mate. I'm just gonna. Yeah, I was gonna say.
I know, and it's filthy.
Because he looks completely different. If you got back in the car and
And he's driving.
you look like that, you'd think, whoa, hold on.
And how did they even get to the restaurant with driving like that? Yeah, but also he's going. He's like, it's all a bit weird. I guess she's distracted. That's how I'm going to excuse it. She's distracted by what she's been told. She's not really paying attention to.
Mickey plays this pretty well. This.
Yeah.
He looks. The makeup's fairly good as well. He's got this plasticky.
Talking of reactions, actually, when he does the thing repeat bit in a minute, this weird bit in a minute, her reaction is brilliant because it is so subtle, but she's just kind of like, what are you doing? And it's brilliant because it's really subtly acted. Do you know what I mean? Because it's not like, whoa, what? It's not over the top at all. It's brilliant, actually. This bit. See, it's just a subtle little look of what?
Yeah, she's like,
Yeah.
what? Yeah.
It's really good because it could have been like so over the top.
What are you doing that?
Yeah.
We didn't order any champagne. Where's the
Do you know, it's a shame that Chris didn't try and do like a silly voice because straight away that it's him.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking of the scene with Sherlock where he comes back from the dead at the restaurant and he's doing that sort of French accent.
yes.
It would have been better
Yeah.
if Chris had, before you'd seen him, done a sort of something with his voice because it kind of ruins, you're supposed to be surprised. Oh, it's the Doctor, but straight away it's him.
Yeah, that. Yeah,
It's a minor thing. It doesn't really matter, but it just occurred to me. This is good, really.
It must have been cool for Noel Clarke and Chris Eccleston. Like they get to have a good old fight scene in the first episode, and
I love the fact the Doctor's smiling when he, they scream, but he's loving the fact he's enjoying himself. It shows the alien side of the Doctor.
yeah, he knows what's going on, and everyone else is freaked out.
I've seen that head in the Mickey's head in the Doctor Who experience. I don't know if they still have it in there. Have you seen it?
Oh, I haven't seen that since I've been there.
Oh right, I don't know if they still have it, but I remember they used to.
Was that when it was in London?
Well, yes, yeah, I
Yeah.
think it was either London or it might have even been when it was in Brighton.
Okay,
Can't remember,
right.
but I've definitely seen it. His head in a glass cabinet, which is a bit weird.
I don't think they have it. Please correct me, listeners, if I'm wrong, but I don't think they have it in the Cardiff one anymore.
No, perhaps they've melted it down.
Yeah.
This is great. I loved this. I still love it actually. But the first time I watched it, because you're dying to see inside the TARDIS.
Yes. Yeah. That's
And they actually string it out just nicely. Actually, they don't, because I was thinking, expected to see her view, and you don't. And it's like, what? It's
they're
brilliant.
teasing, aren't they?
Yeah, it's brilliantly done. Brilliantly done.
It's a cool looking TARDIS, this one as well. It's,
It looks great, all
Yeah.
lit up like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know they've progressed the design a few times now over the newer series, but this one, it's fairly basic. It just does what it needs. Oh, look at that.
That's brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant.
Through that door, and believe me, they've tried. Now, shut up a minute.
I love the inside of Nine's TARDIS. Look how brilliantly lit and everything.
Yeah.
So great. It's beautiful.
This served as the same interior for 10 as well, didn't it?
It did,
Pretty
but
much.
they light it. They sort of turn the lights up a bit, and I think it looks much nicer like this. I particularly don't like it when when he leaves Rose on the beach and it comes back to him crying. It's almost
okay.
orange. It's so overlit. This looks brilliant.
Right, yeah.
Look at the green, and
Yeah. It's
Stuff.
very cool. Yeah.
it's fantastic. I keep saying fantastic. I think Chris has got inside my head.
Yeah. The set designers and everyone is just brilliant on this.
Yeah.
It's a cool little speech as well.
Culture shock.
Yeah.
Happens to the best of us.
Did they kill him, Mickey? Did they kill
This is nice, showing the Doctor's sort of alien side. Didn't think about it.
You pulled off his head. They copied him and you didn't even think. And now you're just going to let him melt.
Yeah, I think this sets up the that very underpinning motive for a lot of the writing for the newer stuff, where the Doctor very much needs a human side to him. He needs somebody with him all the time.
Yeah, it's true. They actually click very well, Billy and Chris, or the Doctor and Rose. They work really well together straight away, actually, don't they?
Yeah,
The
very
sort of
good.
relationship between the two is really good. Oh, I love the fact that we're just in the middle of... How did they film it? I mean, I guess it wasn't... if they were filming this now, there'd be people... you can imagine the other side of the camera, there'd be barriers and hundreds of people.
Yeah.
I bet there was hardly anyone around, probably didn't even know what it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's the BBC released a little behind the scenes of this scene actually on YouTube
Oh, yeah.
last week, and there aren't many people around. It's fairly
Oh, I
light.
haven't,
Yeah,
haven't seen that. I'll have to have a look. Yeah, I can imagine. I bet, because this is right in, really busy part of London opposite the Eye. It's great that they managed to film there.
it's nice and quiet as well. I think this was really late. This like midnight, 1 a.m.
It must be. I'm surprised there isn't some sort of drunk, walking past. This is a lovely gag, isn't it? Coming up with the, the beacon being the London Eye, and
Yes.
and the Doctor not realising it. I love it.
Yeah, and the way it's framed as well, with his head right in the middle,
Yes.
and the London Eye around it, and he's totally oblivious.
Excellent. Sorry, I've jumped ahead, listeners. If you're thinking my computer's cracked up and I'm not ahead of you, we are in the same place. I do love the scene coming up.
And
Anti-plastic.
yeah, we get a reference to the Nestine consciousness.
Yeah, and funny enough, I didn't notice, but the Autons aren't actually named in the episode.
They're not, are they?
No, like you said, they mention the Nestine consciousness, but we don't mention the Autons, even though we know what they are. So that's odd. Here it is. Oh, I just love it. Have
Where we're standing must be completely invisible.
you been on the Eye?
Yes.
I'm not very good with heights, and I've been on it, and I loved it until I got to the top, and then it stopped because I think someone wanted to get off, and I was like, I want to get off now.
Oh,
Brilliant. Oh, is that music again?
yeah.
It works better here somehow. I don't know. I think because I love the shot. This is great of them on Westminster Bridge. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. Need to get the necessary sites in to make the most of the filming budget.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Do, 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 do. Yeah, it must have
Yeah.
been really early in the morning, mate. It would have been packed around here.
Waiting to come alive. The shop window
It would have been, yeah. I'm just wondering, did they leave the lights on the Eye? I wonder if they had to get them permission to get them on. I can't remember. I had a feeling they turned everything off at night, but I might be wrong.
They should turn them off. Reduce the old carbon footprint.
See, I'm trying to think where they go here as well. I'm going to have a look next time I'm near the eye, because I was trying to work out where this is. I mean, obviously it's by the eye, but where do they sort of go down on the embankment, don't they?
Yeah.
So that's really nicely done. I assume that isn't, you know, a mix of two shots. I assume they have filmed that there. I don't know.
I think so. I think
Hard
so.
to say.
Yeah. This is a
Because now we've cut to somewhere completely different, haven't we?
Yeah, we must. Yeah. I'm assuming this is a set. Maybe.
I don't know. I assumed it was in some grotty basement in Cardiff, but it could be a set.
Okay. Yeah, you're probably right. Oh, this must be a. This can't be a set, can it?
Although, do you know what? I have a feeling I've seen some. You know, when it starts blowing up, I have a feeling I've seen some footage of that. Some of it was model shot, and I remember thinking, really, that looks really good.
Yeah.
It might be a mix of it. Yeah.
A lot of it was modelled back then. It looked really good as well.
See, that bit doesn't look too bad. There's a bit coming up later where it really does look a bit ropey, but it looks all right at the moment.
Yeah.
The actual visuals, I mean.
Yeah. And the Doctor has just mentioned for the first time the Shadow Proclamation.
Yes.
Which we hadn't seen before in Who. This was a new thing, wasn't it, for new Doctor Who?
That's right, yeah.
And essentially, don't know, like a governing body of space stuff.
It's just a
Police
cool name
force.
as well, isn't it? Yeah, I love it. This does slightly bug me, I have to say. This is one of the minor gripes I have with the episode is, what's Mickey doing just sat there? Why is he the only one that's been saved? And it's a bit of a weak sort of get out that. You know, he says he's been saved to keep the body or whatever, but he's just kind of just there. I don't know, it just seems a bit out of place to me, that. Like, why hasn't he got up and run off or why isn't he sort of in a... don't know, why is he just at the side of the rail? It bugs me that a bit because it's a bit lazy. You know, you can imagine him sort of being sort of in a cabinet, sort of tied up or something, or he's just kind of on the rails.
Mm-hmm.
This is good though. You can see Chris is enjoying this, can't you? I am talking. I like the fact he's trying to give him a chance as well. That's very doctorish, isn't it? I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to give you the chance to do the right thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, it's not going to, but.
That was just insurance. I wasn't going to use it. I was not attacking you. I'm here to help. I'm not your enemy.
The manifestation of the Nestine consciousness looks very different from the spearhead from space.
Yes, it does. Yeah, very different. Something nice about that shot of the TARDIS. I think it's just because it's got the spotlight on it. Really, really looks good. Time War mentioned as well, and I'd forgotten we got that so early on.
Yeah, it was straight in pretty much the first episode. Referencing.
Although we wouldn't probably picked up on it at the time till later, but yeah.
Just leg it now. I love that
Here she is.
Can get compensation, I said so. I've got this document thing off the police. Don't thank me.
Oh, she's great.
I'm in town.
I love the fact that they've had to stick an underground sign there to remind you it's London.
Because it obviously wasn't.
No, it's it's clearly centre of Cardiff,
isn't it? Yeah.
Queen's Arcade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think a lot of this stuff now where the explosions are coming from, that's all a model inside.
Yeah.
And proper smoke and explosions as well. They're not CG on top of the model. No.
Which looks a lot better. This is quite nice. The angle seems a bit off. I was thinking of you with your technical graphic-y mind. I love the effect, but it seems to be at the wrong angle.
It looks like it. It's probably not, but I think it just looks like it because of the...
This is a nice hark back to Spearhead, isn't it?
Yeah. Because they do that in Spearhead, don't they? They come through the shop window and chase people up the street. Clive.
One of my favourite. Oh, I know.
What are you doing there, Clive?
Oh, it's such a shame. It's in front of his wife and kid as well, which I find really heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It's horrible. Such a likeable guy.
Yeah.
Oh no, horrible. Poor old Clive.
I wonder if his missus and kid got it as well, or if they escaped.
Wow. Be traumatized for life if they didn't. I really hope that that there's a bit after the credits that we haven't seen where there's written on the wall in graffiti, "Clive lives." This is good. It's all kicking off now.
Yeah, I remember seeing the behind-the-scenes stuff for this on one of the extras on this series box set, and it took ages to set all these scenes up. And
oh, I bet.
Yeah,
I've just seen Clive's wife and kids running off, so maybe
good.
they did. Maybe
Cool.
they did escape. See, Mickey isn't tied up or anything. Why hasn't he run away before they arrived? I just don't get it.
I think he's just a big scaredy pants. Wants to hang around Rose. She's not obviously bricking it and running away like you'd expect her to. So he's like, yeah.
This does look quite epic with the burning bus and everything, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And the killer brides, brilliant.
They do look quite menacing. There's something quite creepy about shot mannequins.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
And I'm assuming that they're viewed even more creepy now after seeing stuff like this in Doctor Who, but there is something like lifeless about them on the surface, but quite eerie that, you know, they can move and be quite menacing.
Nothing behind the eyes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Why is it just stood there holding that thing as well? Come on, Rose.
Come on.
He just looks at us and say, come on. It's almost like he's just, over to you.
Yeah. I saw somebody, I saw a tweet, I can't remember who put it out, but somebody put a screen capture of Rose like swinging down and said, really enjoying watching Rose go Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I got the bronze. Nice shot.
Yeah, very nicely done. Oh, that looks terrible when they drop that thing. It looked terrible then. It looks even worse now.
Yeah,
Probably the one really bad CGI shot.
We can't have it all.
No, this all looks great though. I mean, doesn't it? All the flames explode. Look at this. This is brilliant.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
I think the angle was off a little bit there, mate. I think you're right.
Yeah. Dancing crazy brides.
So we want you guys to just dance weird, strange kind of stuff. Just do that for 5 minutes and
action.
Yeah.
See, it is nicely done actually. The way it's all building up, and you know, you can see that Bill is enjoying it. Do you know what I mean? She's obviously, you can tell that Rose is liking this bit of excitement, which is why she's going to go on to travel with him.
Yeah.
She's experienced a bit of a buzz doing this. And you finally see the TARDIS dematerialise, because I meant to say that earlier when he leaves her, and you don't see it, you hear it. And I remember thinking at the time, oh, they didn't show it. But you actually do get to see it finally now, which is great. Jackie. That's quite good. Just creepy little, yeah. Just to show there's a little bit of life just in it. Look at that. Poor old Cardiff, wrecked. Is that what it's like on a Friday night?
Yeah.
I've never been there, I don't know.
Yeah, down by the bay. Gets a bit rough down there.
Now, who is it who told us that this is CGI? Is this true? Because, you know, obviously they use a backdrop now.
Yes, this was our friend Cameron.
Which, of course, we have to take everything he says with a pinch of salt, because he does love to wind us up.
Yes, commonly known as Blogter Who. You probably know him. He gave us...
Say it like that. Yes, you've probably heard of his character. But yeah, he told us it's CGI'd, because Russell was like, I'm not having it black. We're not having that.
Yeah.
And then they use a backdrop for later on.
It does look CGI.
Does
you
it?
can just about tell, yeah. I think it is CGI'd in, yeah.
So I wonder when they started using the backdrop then. I'm going to be looking out for that from now on, because I suppose it does look a bit different actually, yeah, mate, because you can sometimes tell it's a backdrop because you know it's a backdrop. Do you know what I mean? Whereas that does look a bit different. Yeah,
you can see the central light kind of flickering and dimming out a little bit, and does move. It's not it's definitely CG. It's well done. I didn't notice it at first.
No, well, I didn't notice it until he mentioned it. Look at Mickey.
Mickey, come
Doesn't
on,
want to
Mickey.
leave. Come on.
He doesn't grow a set until
He's
a bit
not
further down.
invited.
Yeah.
No. Why does he take a dislike to Mickey straight away?
I just think he
Just
just
wants
doesn't.
Rose all to himself.
Yeah, he just doesn't want a wet blanket on his travels with him, bringing him down, I guess.
Now the bit I'm going to say it before we get to the credits, but the bit I never quite get is Rose's last line where he says something like, "Thanks for what?" and she goes, "Exactly." It's like she may as well just kick him in the balls. Like what's she trying to say? Like, thanks for nothing. But what does he do to deserve that? I never get that in line. Do you get it? I just don't know why she's so harsh to him at the end. He's like, thanks for what? And she's like, exactly, or something like that. As if like, I don't know. It's just always bugged me a bit. I never quite get that line, unless I'm reading it wrong, unless I'm missing it. I don't know.
All right, we'll check it out in a sec.
Yeah,
This is quite cool.
this is great. Yeah.
Be careful, don't take out the lampposts.
Brilliant. Here you go. Let's see what she says. And you tell me what she's doing.
Thanks.
Thanks for what?
Exactly.
Well, what's he done to deserve that? What's that about?
Yeah,
It just seems a really odd end line to me. But love the bit of her running into TARDIS at the end.
yeah, it's very
Great
cool.
stuff. Wow, that rattled along at a pace, didn't it?
Yeah. Have you got the Next Time trailer?
I have this time, yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of kicked off the show proper, I guess. Out in time and space, aliens galore.
I think it's got everything you need for a sort of introductory episode for a show that's been off the air for however many years it was off the air. What was it, 89 to 2005? So yeah, quite. Oh well, no. So I always forget about the movie. Sorry, and I like the movie. It's not intentional. But yeah, it was off the air for quite a while. So I think it's got everything it needs just to bring people back, bring in the new viewers.
And I like the closing credits where the time vortex tunnel is just slowed down.
Yeah, it's nice.
Kind of just having a casual walk through time and space.
It's really nice, actually. I'm loving this effect.
Yeah.
I think overall, it's a good episode. I enjoy it. It really does, as I say, it moves along at a really nice pace. There's no bit in it where you're sort of, it sags or drags or whatever. It's yeah, it's good. Poor old Mickey.
Poor old Mickey.
Yeah.
You know? And I was about to say Mickey, he does come into his own a bit later on in the I think it's series 3 or 4.
It's quite nice actually that they did that, because it mixes it up a bit, doesn't it? Because it's good that you get the Doctor and Rose travelling for a while, and then later on they bring Mickey on board to add a bit of a new dynamic. So yeah,
that's cool. So I guess big thanks really to Russell T.
Yeah,
Davis,
there's a good team back there. We had Russell, Julie Gardner, Phil Collinson.
Yeah.
A really great team, really, and you can see the enthusiasm from those guys, can't you? It really comes through on what you're watching. It's I think they did a great job. Yeah, great job bringing it back.
Yeah.
I think it's a great episode. I love it.
It's very cool. Yeah. Don't want to kind of sit on the nostalgia chair for too long, but we have a lot to thank those guys for. So that was Rose. Second commentary done.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching that. It's good.
Very cool.
If you if you want to hear a more in-depth review from Gary and I on this episode, then do check out episode 35 of our podcast, because we go into a lot more detail on it. But yeah, it's really enjoyed rewatching that one.
It was a good one to do, not just because of the 10th anniversary, which is the reason why we were doing that stuff, but it was just cool to go back and revisit Chris, because he's such a great Doctor.
Yeah, I do rate Chris, definitely.
And I think we should. I know it's hard. It's quite hard with Chris, because you want to say things like, we should watch more of Chris's stuff, but he's only done a little bit. So it's once you've watched his stuff, there's not much to go through.
That's right. Yeah.
But, he's a great Doctor. Really like Chris, and I know we've kind of we've given him some stick on the show in the past about how he's been with Who fans and that sort of stuff. But forgetting all that stupid crap, it's he was a great Doctor. You can't take that away. So
he works really well with Billy as well. I think they make a good Doctor companion team for all the lovey-dovey stuff. Yeah, really good.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So so we hope you've enjoyed this commentary and you've enjoyed watching along and listening to our waffle. It's been cool. I'm not sure what our next commentary is going to be, so just stay tuned to Twitter and Facebook, and we'll put up what we're going to do next. It's going to be a complete surprise. I don't think we even know yet. We haven't talked about it yet. So
no, we haven't. No.
Yeah, be good. So enjoy the like Adam said, check out episode 35. It's got a more in-depth review of Rose. We look forward to speaking to you guys in episode 36 later on this week. Until then, my name's Gary.
And my name's Adam.
And remember, Allons-y!